everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you want to see how I achieve this look, keep watching. Right now I am priming my eyes with the Juvias Place concealer. I'm using a crease brush to go ahead and press in the liquid in order to dry it down a little bit before I start putting my eyeshadow on. So for this look primarily I'll be using this KatVond palette. And right now I'm packing in that dark brown color. This will be the only shade I'm using in my crease, and I'll just be blending it out. I won't be using another transitional color because I just want it to be that one shade faded out a little bit. Right now I'm using a clean crease brush to go ahead and blend out the harsh lines around my crease. Now to start off cutting this crease, I'm just pretty much doing an outline before I go ahead and drag the whole line and connect it together. Just made a few dots so that I know exactly what it'll look like before I actually start cutting my crease. So for some reason I didn't show you the eyeshadow. I'm still going in with that KatVond palette, and there's a really light white eyeshadow that was in there. And then there's like a yellowish one, but I put the white down first just to pretty much set it, and then I'm going back over it with this yellowish color just to give it a little warmth. Now I'm using this transitional color in the Morphe palette just to blend out that yellow before I go back in with the next color. And I'm going back in with that brown shade that I used first off just to deepen up the inner corner and just to give it a little smokier look. So next I am starting to create my wing liner with this P. Louise eyeshadow base. I'm doing this just so that I can lay down the foundation right before I go ahead and put the color on. And I'm just making it real crispy before I try and slap some eyeshadow on it. Going back in with that same palette, I'm using the blue that's in there to go ahead and lay the color on top of that P. Louise base so that I can start giving that eyeliner look with this eyeshadow. Y'all realized throughout this video that I wasn't really feeling this palette anyways, but I just kept going just because I didn't feel like picking up my other palettes. Just being lazy. Oh god, awful. It's just not as pigmented as I wanted it to be, or maybe I was just doing something wrong, but it is an older palette, so that could have been it, but I doubt it. I'm gonna just stick to my Juvias Place. I like this palette though, like no hate at all. It's cool, but yeah. And before I put my glitter on, I went ahead and put some eyelash glue on just to get the glitter to stick, and I'm just placing it on with a very small detailed brush that I don't get any glitter anywhere I don't want it to be. So next I'm doing my foundation. My face is already primed. I'm going in with the Juvias Place foundation. I mixed Kampala, however you say that, and Malawi together just because I haven't went and actually got my my winter shade yet, so I mixed those two. Yeah, for this foundation, a little goes a long way, and I think I put a bit too much because it took me a long time to go ahead and blend it out, but I did get it together. So next, I'm going in to highlight my face, and I like transitional colors with my highlight. I like to do a brighter color on top and closer to like the focal points, and then tone it down a little bit with darker concealer so that I got a seamless blend. Back at it with the Juvias Place again. Y'all gotta actually pay attention to what colors I'm actually putting on my face so I can tell y'all what I actually use. But I use a couple dots just because this is pretty dark and I don't want to put too much on, and then I start looking a little skeptical. So just taking my time and blending it out. I went back in with that first concealer color just to add some definition to my jawline and make that contour a little crispier and cleaner. So to contour my nose, I use a smaller crease brush just so that I can have a little bit more precision than using that big old beauty blender, because then it's gonna start getting everywhere and I'm gonna just be looking a hot mess. So yes, I use a smaller brush for precision. Now I'm using this Airspun setting powder. I don't like it, I just use it because I got a lot of it. It do give me flashbacks sometimes. If I set a little too long, y'all just pray for me because I just be being lazy. So I tried a different brow method. I wanted to do that little fluffy brow look, but it did not work. So it was just a flop. I'm going to stick to the usual. So now I'm using this brown eyeshadow to contour. And I'm doing my cheekbones and do my forehead, literally everywhere I put the darker concealer at. I'm using this lighter cream concealer to underline my waterline, and then I'll set it with some powder afterwards. And then I'm going to go in with that dark brown eyeshadow to add some definition to my waterline, so I don't just have that lighter brownish color. So for my blush, I could have very much so used the Juvias Place blush that I had, but I'd rather use the eyeshadow palette with the orange and the pink. And y'all, I tried this overlining lip situation for the first time. Oh my gosh, y'all, I really appreciated it. It just looked so ghetto and I loved it. And it just made me look like a brat doll. I think I'm gonna use this in my makeup routine. It turned out really bomb. So always before I do my highlighter, I always spray some setting spray just because I feel like it makes the highlighter pop a little bit, or at least spray my brush. So right now I'm using this highlighter from Juvias Place. I think they only have like 3, so this is the more golder one. I don't know if that's necessarily a word, but the one that looks a little more gold. And it is amazing. And that is all, beautiful people. If you like this video, loved it, whatever, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, turn that bell on and leave a comment. Thank you.